So, and of course, in terms of concepts, what we're doing and what we're saying to the world is we're doing it now. It's got to be done now, and let's look at how we can do it. We think that both being rooted in grassroots is very important, but also talking to leadership is very important, right? Both, we try to do both. And with in terms of the Earth Constitution, one of the things that has been going on since the first draft was finished in 1977 is that people in organizations and potentially even governmental bodies like cities can sign it personally. They can be signatories to it. So we have many thousands of personal signatories. And to be a personal signatory for many of us means that we recognize that as world law. And it supersedes the law of any nation. Right? So the laws of the United States are secondary to the laws of the Earth Constitution and so on. So this is like one of the, and therefore by signing it, anyone who signs it becomes a world citizen under that Constitution, right? It recognizes everyone. Ultimately, once it's ratified, anyone born on the earth will be, a world citizen legally, and so we treat each other legally as world citizens under the Earth Constitution, people that have signed it, and anyone coming to the Provisional World Parliament allows for observers. We invite governments to be observers, for example, but any delegate who wants to be a voting delegate has to be a signatory of the Earth Constitution and pledge to it. So our last session of the Parliament was in Kolkata, India, in 2014. It was the 14th session. And it was one that was not well attended. Right? Some of them have been quite successful. So maybe there were 40 people, and so I decided we better not hold any more, because with most of these parliaments we have done our best to publicize them. And part of it is the publicity is saying this is a historical event. The people of Earth are coming together to look at the Earth under the authority of the Earth Constitution and how we can move forward. And newspapers should be picking this up and so on. And so I decided after the 14th session, we did good legislation there, but it was not good publicity, right? And so I decided we'll hold conferences in the meantime, and when we're sure that we can get delegates from around the world and make this a really impressive meeting, then we'll call the next one. And so the next year, last December in Pune, India, we had a conference, WCPA conference, called Building the World Parliament Conference. And it was well attended, it was dynamic, it was really a powerful conference. And we're working to have another one in the Delhi area this coming December. And again, I think these conferences are important. They're meetings of WCPA, but they're not parliaments. Right? Parliament, you don't present papers about how to build a world parliament. We actually consider world legislative proposals, so on. So, that's what we're doing, Francois. We've got another initiative we've got is the initiative for the Collegium of World Judges. Under the Constitution, The World Supreme Court system, which has 8 benches of the World Supreme Court, the justices from these benches come from a collegium of world judges, 60 judges who are highly qualified and so on. And so what we've done in the last few years is we often meet people in high court judges. You may know in Lucknow, India, the City Montessori School of Lucknow, under its leader Jagdish Gandhi, holds an annual conference of Chief Justices of the world. And we've always had, he's now on 17th annual one, and so on. And we've always had representatives there. And we go there and we talk to the justices and invite them to be members of the Collegium of World Justices. So we have maybe a dozen around the world now who are members of it. And when we get enough, and they begin organizing themselves and leading themselves, and we encourage them to, become an independent body. And once we get enough of these justices, we'll draw from them to start the first bench of the World Supreme Court system. We don't need to have the Constitution approved. We'll just set up a bench. And right now, even though there are many courts in the world, the 2 in The Hague, right, ICC and ICJ, and then the court in Latin America with the Organization of American States and various courts, none of them are truly universal courts, right? None of them have the authority of mandamus, the authority that the Earth Constitution, a real court has the power to indict people, has the power to demand that they come before the court, has the power to try people. The signatories to the Rome Statute are all voluntary, right? So the cooperation, the ICC can't indict people without the cooperation of the nations and so on. So this is, these are the kind of things we're trying to do. We're trying to start it to the best of our resources. And right now we're raising money in India especially, because we're going to be starting a global communications center in Delhi by the end of this year. And we already have space for it. One of our distinguished advisors has given us a small one-room building in downtown Delhi, very central to the power in India. And we're going to have the latest technology and experts in video streaming and global communications and social media. And this is going to be a big step forward for us. We're going to get the word out about the Earth Constitution as widely as possible. So that's where we are, right?